Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to today's message. I would like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of this journey. I'm honored to be sharing this time and space with you, and if you're new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic selves. And we do things completely differently on this channel. So that being said, if the message happens to resonate with you, it would mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. So I did have a channeled message come in. We're going to be using the Soul's Journey Oracle cards by James Van Praagh today. They told a lie about you, and it was really strong. I was sitting here chilling, watching the squirrels run up and down the trees, and it came in, and my candle just went out. I don't know why that candle always burns at a weird rate, but we're just gonna go with it. Okay, I'm actually gonna move this out of the frame. That over, and I'll put this here. All right. Yeah, so that's a message coming in. They told a lie about you, or they lied about you. That's what's happening. They lied about you. So this could be someone that loved you, or that didn't want to admit that they loved you. This could be a family member, a friend, a coworker. This could be anybody. Okay, so source, what? Soul's Journey Oracle card is going to help us better understand this message. They lied about my fellow humans. They lied about them. What would you like to share with us? What Oracle card is going to help us better understand this message today, source? They lied about them. Okay. On the bottom, we have blame. Wow. I accept responsibility for my well-being. They lied about you because they blame you for something. They could be blaming you because you're having a streak of success, or because things seem to be easy for you, or because they just need someone to blame for their own sense of insecurities and lack of self-worth. So, source, what more would you like to share with us today? They told a lie about my fellow humans. They lied about them. What would you like to say today? They lied about my fellow humans. What would you like to share with us today, source? Okay, I'm going to move the camera just a bit. So we've got the first house, we have Cancer energy, and we have Mars. Yeah, this is someone who's really angry. They're angry about how caring and loving and compassionate you are to other people and not to them. But if you're not to them, it means that this person proved that they weren't loyal, or that they were toxic for you, and so you had to move away from them, or you're having to set some real solid boundaries with this person, and they don't like it because they're not benefiting from it anymore. They're not benefiting from having the connection to you that they once had. They're not benefiting from draining your energy. They're not benefiting from getting that rush like, oh, I know them and they're my friends, or they're my family, or whatever it is, and I'm cool now because I'm associated with them, right? This person sees you as someone who's very confident, who is very emotional and loving and nurturing and supportive of so many people, and you're a natural born leader with both the first house and Mars energy here. You're a natural born leader. You're capable of leading the masses. You're capable of inspiring simple people to do simple things, and it's not like you're doing it for a sense of control. It's just you like to spread love and joy to people. It's part of who you are, and that's a beautiful thing. But this person is no longer receiving that, and so there's definitely a sense of codependency that's coming through here, a sense of aggression, jealousy is coming in as well. I feel like this person is incredibly abrasive with you. If not, if they're on the aggressive side with you, like they are just very, like every time you try to talk to them, they cut you off, or they really talk over you, or they make it seem like if you're asking a simple question, they make it seem like that's the stupidest thing in the world. How could you be asking that question and bothering me right now with that? But this person has questions they have to ask all the time, and they really do bother you, and they really do go out of their way to make a menace in your life. And so it's like this person wants to benefit from having freedom to do whatever they want want, but they do not want there to be a clear boundary that they cannot cross. And there's been plenty of times when they've tried to step over it, and they get really upset when you don't let them. And so right now they're blaming you for some way that they're feeling, which is that is their responsibility, right? We don't have to feel any one way, shape, or form. Like, no one can make us feel a certain way. We're really choosing to feel that way because of triggers, or because of past events, or because of whatever it is that's coming through. It's easy enough to blame another person. Well, you made me feel this way, or you're the one that's making my life a problem. Yeah, they're mad because you're in this Queen of Cups energy, but you're not even giving them the time of day. So they feel like they have to start over. They have to look for someone else that's going to give them what you were giving them. But no one fulfills that role, because no one they find is in the light that you're in. You changed. You see this person for who they are, and you're recognizing that I don't need to put up with this anymore. They lied about my fellow humans. What would you like to say, Source? So now they're keeping an eye on you. And I feel like everything that you're doing, they're trying to spread rumors to people who don't know you, or who don't follow you, or who don't have your social media. They're trying to spread rumors to these people and say, like, you're this terrible person. All you do is lie. All you do is blame them for the problems that you're experiencing. You're not working. You're lazy. You're just goofing around. You're making a menace all the time. Whatever it is that they're doing, like, they're putting it all on you. This person doesn't want to take accountability for themselves. They lied about my fellow human, Source. Yeah, there's a lot of repression here. I feel like, honestly, with the Strength card in reverse, it does talk about repression, but I feel like you're the one that's repressing a lot of your anger. I do feel like this person makes you angry. But I also feel like you've come to that place of recognizing that, like, understanding this person isn't the cause of my anger. It's the triggers that are underneath the surface. And when we come to that place, we begin to see growth. But I do feel like at times maybe you have compartmentalized your anger with this person, and that might be exacerbated at other times. And so just remembering to feel through that anger when it does arise, that is something that Source is saying. So on the bottom of the deck, yeah, we have Temperance here. That's where the healing is. It's integrating the shadow and the light aspects. This is the blending of opposites in a seamlessly flawless way. And remembering that balance brings to us the harmony and the peace that we're seeking. So remembering that your shadow parts and the anger, and I've dealt with many clients when it comes to anger, and even on this channel with anger, and from a personal standpoint as well. Anger from a collective standpoint is one of the hardest emotions to deal with, because it's the one that no one thinks is okay. It's the one that carries a lot of shame and guilt with it, and yet it's such a natural part of being human. And so we're denying ourselves the right to feel anger and feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to feel guilty because I'm angry. And especially if you're in that mindset of, like, on the journey of positive love and light, I can only be positive love and light all the time. Well, how stifling is that? I'm sorry. I'm going to be the realist here. How stifling is that? We're human, and we're not always positive, and we're not always in this bright, bubbly attitude. We're not always in the best of moods. We all experience life, which means that we all experience the ups and downs that come with life, which means that we all experience the entire spectrum of emotions. And if those of us on the spiritual journey are like, oh no, we can't experience anger, how dare we experience anger, we're basically also saying we can't experience joy. How dare we experience joy? Because we're suppressing anger. When we suppress anger, we suppress every other emotion that there is as well, which means we suppress the good ones as well. And anger is one that's really difficult to face, but it's a necessary one to face. So I do feel like you are receiving anger from this person, but I also feel like it's been really hard for you to shift through your own anger in regards to this person. Yeah, there's a lot of anxiety. It's almost like feeling like every day that you have to deal with. So this could be like a coworker, this could be a family member. This does feel like someone you see on a regular basis. So much anxiety, like the 8 of Wands underneath this. So much anxiety when it comes to dealing with this person. It's like I feel like I have to be on edge whenever this person's around because this person's moods are so unpredictable and so up in smoke, and just not knowing if they're going to be in a good mood today, if they're going to be in a bad mood. Can't show if you're in a good or a bad mood because that also predicts how they show up. Like if you're in a bad mood, they're going to be in a super good mood and they're going to rub it in. If you're in a good mood, they're going to be in a terrible mood and they're going to make sure that everybody and their mom is in a bad mood too. So there's a lot of ups and downs with this, and I feel like this is that reminder that you do not have to put up with this. Silence is such a secure place to sit in sometimes, especially when it has to do with people like this. Saying nothing at all is sometimes golden. And that's just that reminder. Deal with what you're feeling, face what you're feeling, go into a safe space and get through it, but also recognizing that you don't have to carry this person and their roller coaster ride of drama and emotions, because that's exactly what this feels like. It's all over the place. It feels very, very upside down, but you make them anxious, you make them worry because you're in this very high vibrational light. You're a natural born leader. You're getting a lot of attention from people that they can't get attention from. So because they can't tap into the audience or the circle that you're in, they're creating their own audience and circle that they can control and manipulate. This could be a father with Capricorn here. Ambition, realism, and methodical steps. It doesn't have to be, but the shadow of Capricorn is they're the pessimists of the zodiac. Like, they're very low vibrational. Everything is negative. They don't see anything good. They can't see anything good, and they struggle to find positivity when they're in their shadow. Okay, it's not to say that Capricorn's the only one like this. All of the zodiacs have a shadow, but right now we're talking about Capricorn. So with Capricorn here, we see that this is somebody who is very negative, very low vibrational, and they're sad and frustrated because you're ambitious and you're taking the steps to create that in your life, right? That ambition it's inspiring to many others. This is a completion of a cycle for you. When you're able to let go of the control of this situation and to allow yourself to flow, right? Then everything comes to light here and you let go of the whole situation together. And you're not going to be facing situations that are this intense any longer. There might be people just as intense as this person coming back into your life, but because you face this one situation, those other people will seem like drops in the bucket compared to this person. They're not going to be that big of a deal. To stay vigilant to your journey and to your path, right? Regardless of what's going on outside of you, staying true to your path is what's so important right now. All right, what else? What else, source? This person lied about my fellow humans. Claim your independence. Yep. Claim your independence. Trust your intuition and come back to that independence. Be like the cat. Look, a cat only goes and gets attention when it wants attention. That's kind of the cool and the annoying thing about cats, right? Versus a dog is always willing to get attention, always wants to be pet, always wants to be loved on. But a cat's like, no. If I don't want attention, I'm going to claw the crap out of you because I don't want attention, or I might bite you because I'm annoyed with you right now. So it's kind of like coming into that same energy. It's like, look, it's okay for you to be stern. It's okay for you to set a solid boundary with them in the form. I mean, I wouldn't suggest going and biting them or clawing at them, no matter how much we might want to do these things. But think about it. That's a cat's boundary, right? So when a cat swipes its paw at you, or when a cat is biting you, it's saying, I don't want this, right? So how can you do that for yourself? How can you come into a situation where you're saying, I don't want this. I don't want to deal with this today. We're not going to cross this line today. You need to go take care of you because I have things that I have to do for myself. Be at peace. Exactly. Coming back to that state of harmony and peace. That's where you're going to find everything is going to feel a lot better. Wow, I almost lost my voice there. Everything is going to feel a lot better. 9th house, expand your point of view. Yeah, so this is a spiritual growth aspect for you, part of ascension. On the bottom, malefics, be aware of challenges. Okay, so this is a very challenging situation, but it's meant to bring exponential growth into your life. Okay, I want to get one of these, and then I'm going to get an angel number for you today. What else, source? They lied about my fellow human. What else would you like to say today? I lied about my fellow human. That one right there. Thank you. Yeah, that's the other thing, is that you're magic. You're creating something from nothing. And that scares them because it feels like they've always worked so hard for everything in their life. But now you're creating something from nothing and you're so confident about who you are. And it's irritating this person's inner demons. It's irritating this person's lack of confidence as well, right? So remember that what they're going through and what they're experiencing is not your problem. It's not your business, nor is it your fault. On the bottom, 999, spiritual realm. I can't make this up. This is a part of your spiritual growth. Loyalty, responsibility, truth, light, love, spiritual realm, growth, and solutions. Applying honesty and light daily is a fast track to creating a peaceful and meaningful life. Coming back to that sense of peace. It's how you find solutions and comfort. Release worries by speaking your truth and expressing emotions regularly. Open up for the best is yet to come. This is a culmination of this entire reading in this one card. I love that. It's just confirming everything we were feeling. And I also feel like this is that energy. Speaking your truth and expressing your emotions regularly, right? Don't be afraid to speak your truth. Don't be afraid to be clear about it. Like, I'm not okay with the way that you're acting, or I'm not okay with how you're showing up, right? It's okay to be direct and honest. Honesty, while it hurts at times, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Saturn, this is a struggle. This is a challenging situation. Feeling restricted, experiencing struggle, learn hard work and patience, okay? So you're learning patience through this situation, but it is a struggle, and they're validating that for you. Okay, but you are meant to have success in this. And also with it being the orange card here connected to the sacral chakra. Also, you might be working with Goddess Bastet. That's coming through as well. But with the sacral chakra here, this is your right to feel. Okay, so this has to do with letting yourself feel and not compartmentalizing those emotions that are arising because of this trigger. 101, new beginnings, personal development, prioritizing creativity, right? That's a very important one here. A new phase in a religious or spiritual quest. You're going through a spiritual awakening, which can feel like the dark night of the soul. You're on the right path to enlightenment, and this too shall pass. Wow, what a confirmation. Thank you so much, Source. So I'm going to put this over here. We're going to read this one from the book and see what it says. Balance. Okay, so we got blame and balance. So coming away from the state of blame and into a place of balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So taking away the judgment here and coming into a state of balance. All right, let's see here. And it's so funny because balance and blame are right together in the book, right? Balance and then blame is right there too. So it says, balance means bringing a sense of stability and wholeness into every area of your life. Many times when you look at a situation objectively, you will resonate with one side more than the other. Try not to view either as good or bad, but simply recognize that it is. The true nature of the scales of balance is given to both sides of a situation, your equitable, objective perspective. It can be difficult to understand the side you don't relate to, but that is a lesson in itself. What is it about you that prevents you from giving both sides of the coin your non-judgmental assessment? The situation or person has been placed in your path to teach you that everyone has his or her own unique, authentic life story, and you must put yourself in that person's shoes to really understand their motivation. Balance is a godly virtue, and if it is struck, you will reap the benefits of insight and compassion. Okay, so this is brought into your life to help you come into this place of compassion, an even deeper sense of compassion. Yes, this person isn't benefiting from your love. Yes, this person isn't benefiting from your energy anymore. But instead of sitting in this state of blame, in order to come back to this place of success, is recognizing that this person is coming from an injured place, a traumatic place, and thus hurting people. So how can you walk a mile in this person's shoes in a non-judgmental state so that you can bring forth that spiritual awakening through that darkness, right? Integrating and balancing both sides of light and dark in a flawless, seamless way. You're capable of doing it. Otherwise, this would not be in your life right now. That's exactly what situations like this tell us. They come into our lives because we're ready to do this. We get to choose to make that step forward. And eventually, if we don't choose to make that step forward, there will be enough of a trigger that will force us to make that step forward. But I feel like this message is coming to you with that reminder that you can choose to do this before it gets to that point. Okay, so this is what I see here for you. If you feel like this is your reading, leave the little scales of balance below and say, I choose to heal and integrate both the light and the dark, understanding that every person embodies both aspects and has their own journey to attend to. And if it resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, please check out the description box. It will have everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. And with that, I would like to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this very powerful message. And until next time, stay human. Bye.